The timing of what we eat is emerging as a surprisingly powerful determinant of gut health, metabolic resilience, and even long-term disease risk. The traditional focus has often been on what we eat, fiber, protein, fats, but recent research suggests that when we eat can be just as important, particularly in how it interacts with the gut microbiome and circadian rhythms. The microbes in our intestines follow daily oscillations, shifting in abundance and metabolic activity in tune with the host's feeding patterns and internal biological clock. This rhythmicity means that the same food consumed at different times of day can provoke different microbial responses, influencing short-chain fatty acid production, gut barrier integrity, inflammatory signaling, and metabolic outcomes. Evening or nighttime snacks, particularly those that are plant-based and nutrient-rich, are gaining attention for their potential to support beneficial microbial activity rather than disrupt metabolic balance. Evening plant-based snacks, like a modest handful of nuts, legumes, or a small serving of fiber-rich vegetables, provide substrates for gut microbes during a period when glucose tolerance naturally declines. Unlike late-night sugary or starchy foods, which can spike blood sugar and stress insulin response, plant-based snacks are generally absorbed more slowly, creating a steady supply of nutrients to the gut microbiome and avoiding abrupt metabolic surges. Nuts, for example, offer a combination of fiber, unsaturated fats, protein, and polyphenol, which selectively feed beneficial bacteria such as bifidobacteria, lactobacilli, and SCFA producers like Roseburia and Lactospiraceae. These microbes ferment the fibers and polyphenol into short-chain fatty acids such as butyrate, acetate, and propionate, molecules that nourish colon cells, strengthen the gut barrier, reduce systemic inflammation, and even modulate insulin sensitivity and lipid metabolism. Evening feeding of these substrates may reinforce microbial circadian rhythms, helping to align metabolite production with host physiology during a critical period for overnight repair and fasting metabolism. Circadian rhythms are a central piece of the puzzle. The gut microbiome exhibits time-dependent fluctuations in composition and function. Certain beneficial bacteria peak during active feeding periods, while others flourish during fasting or rest. Eating nutrient-dense plant-based snacks in the evening may help maintain this rhythm by providing a controlled source of fermentable material that keeps microbial activity productive without overwhelming the system. For instance, SCFA production may peak in alignment with the overnight fasting period, supporting gut barrier maintenance, modulating inflammatory responses, and priming metabolic organs like the liver for efficient glucose management in the morning. By contrast, late-night high-carbohydrate snacks can blunt these microbial oscillations, promote overgrowth of less beneficial bacteria, and increase systemic inflammation, ultimately impairing insulin sensitivity and metabolic resilience over time. Beyond the metabolic and microbial aspects, timing plant-based snacks strategically can influence behavior and satiety. Protein, fiber, and healthy fats slow digestion and promote fullness, reducing the likelihood of consuming calorie-dense, nutrient-poor foods late at night. This supports not only energy balance, but also microbial stability. Sudden influxes of simple carbohydrates can temporarily shift microbial populations towards species that thrive on sugar, potentially producing metabolites that trigger inflammation or disrupt gut barrier integrity. Consistent evening plant-based intake, in contrast, encourages a more predictable microbial environment, fostering diversity and SCFA output that reinforce systemic health. Practical application of this science emphasizes quality and portion control. A small handful of nuts, a few slices of avocado with whole grain crackers, or a serving of hummus with vegetable sticks provides a potent combination of fiber, protein, and polyphenol that feed microbes without spiking glucose. The key is consistency. By aligning feeding patterns with circadian rhythms and choosing foods that support microbial function, evening snacking transforms from a potential metabolic liability into a proactive strategy for gut and metabolic health. Over weeks and months, these small adjustments can improve fasting glucose, reduce overnight inflammation, enhance gut barrier integrity, and even support beneficial shifts in microbial diversity. The emerging research also underscores that the gut and host are in continuous dialogue. Metabolites produced by microbes at night, SCFAs, phenolic derivatives, and other signaling molecules, communicate with the liver, pancreas, adipose tissue, and brain, influencing glucose regulation, lipid metabolism, and appetite. By providing the right substrates at the right time, Plant-based evening snacks may enhance this crosstalk, promoting restorative metabolic activity during sleep and creating a favorable environment for morning glucose control. Essentially, when we eat is as important as what we eat. Timing nutrient-dense, microbiome-friendly foods in the evening leverages natural rhythms, turning nighttime eating into an ally rather than a liability. In sum, food timing and sequence are emerging as critical determinants of gut health, microbial diversity, and metabolic regulation. Evening plant-based snacks, especially those rich in fiber, protein, and polyphenol, can support SCFA production, reinforce microbial circadian rhythms, and reduce systemic inflammation, all while stabilizing overnight glucose and insulin dynamics. By aligning our eating patterns with the natural oscillations of the microbiome, we can transform a traditionally risky habit, late-night snacking, into a strategy for metabolic resilience, gut integrity, and overall well-being. This approach illustrates a broader principle of modern nutrition, that mindful timing, in combination with nutrient quality, can amplify the health-promoting potential of our food choices and nurture a body that operates in harmony with its internal ecosystem.